And we are live. Oh, hi there. Hi guys, am I audible? Can someone please tell me if I'm audible? Okay, hi. Hi Shruti. Can you guys hear me? Am I audible to you? Okay, great. Um, Hi again, welcome to yet another Live with Karmesi. I'm Vedangi. Before we begin our session today, I just want to know if you're all eating healthy and being safe and okay, great, and taking good care of yourself. I hope that you're also taking good care of your intimate health, because that is not something that you should ignore. And speaking of intimate health, I want to remind you that Karmesi is now shipping across India. Except a few containment zones. If you're in a high alert area, then we might not be able to reach you. And you can always check if your PIN code is serviceable. You can drop us a message on Instagram, or you can visit our website. We have a live chat portal. You can just ask us there. Today we have a very exciting session for you, so I hope that you've all had a good Sunday nap and are all fresh and ready to begin, because today we have Ria Bhansali with us, who's a yoga trainer and a life coach. And today she'll be telling us about periods and yoga, how yoga will help you manage your periods better, regulate your periods better. Because we did a post a few days back where we asked you how you're managing your periods during the lockdown, and a lot of you told us that you are experiencing a delayed period. Okay, so Ria's here. Let's patch her in. Yeah. So Ria is going to tell us all about yoga. Hi, Ria.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Finally, so nice to be here. We've been planning for, I think, more than a week now. Finally, this
Yeah,
is
so good
happening.
to. Yes, this is absolutely true. Ria, can you please tell us a little about yourself? I'm sure a lot of our followers want to know about you.
Yeah, sure. So basically, I'm from Jodhpur, Rajasthan, and I've been born and brought up in Bahrain, and went to India for 7, 8 years, where I lived in Mumbai for about 8 years for my chartered accountancy, and that's the time I got into yoga because I myself suffered like from a severe backache. Because of which I got into yoga. And when I learned the benefits of it, I thought that people should know more about this. It's been 3 years since I think, it's been 4 years since I became a yoga teacher now. I became a
Oh,
yoga teacher before a chartered accountant. And that's why I pursue that as my primary career, though I have a day job. And it's been an amazing journey because I came to know that, so many people don't know such basic things about yoga that we all should be knowing. And that's my aim, just to spread these simple things with people that you don't need to spend too much money on, you don't need to go anywhere out. And mind body balances, and it's our culture. So I think there's something to be really proud of. And that's the aim that I spread yoga with. I also combine it with coaching, and I have trained so far 3,000 people in
oh
corporates,
wow.
students, sessions in Mumbai, Bahrain, and now doing live shows with channels like yours.
That's so great to know. Ria, the first question that I have for you, which we've all been thinking, is how
Mhm.
is this lockdown affecting women's health and especially their menstrual health?
So this was a very important time, and it's a very important question because especially for, I think, for household women, women who are home workers, it's not affecting them as much because rather than the working women, because working women are used to going out. and they're used to having a different space, and they're used to having a different environment, and letting go of things, switching off their mind from their household work and getting time off, which is not happening right now. In fact, in so many companies, what the women, even though they were given work from home, and this was supposed to be considered that this is going to be easy for them, because they don't have to travel and manage other things, and they're at home. This was more stressful because now they're looking at the children 24 hours. They're in the same environment. So there's no environment shift which is happening, because of which a lot of people are building in frustration up. It's common. It happens to everyone. And because they're used to this pattern for a very long time and nobody is used to not going out, frustration is building up in everyone. The kids are getting frustrated, the parents are getting frustrated, the spouses are getting frustrated. So it all comes down to one person to manage everything, right? Otherwise, everyone looks after themselves. So how this is affecting their menstrual cycle is, number one, lack of sleep. They're not really getting, there's no boundary between when work ends, when work starts, when the household work starts, when the household work ends. So it's like continuous working. Number one, lack of sleep. Number two is because there was, especially now, I think it's opened up. But previously what was happening is you had to cook like 3 times a day, maybe 4 times a day, because people are constantly hungry and you're just roaming around your house. So there was so much frustration in women because everyone's just cooking all the time, and there's no break for them at all, because you cannot order out. You're so scared, especially during the first 2 phases of lockdown. Now especially like people have opened up and started ordering once in a while. So it was a complete lifestyle change, which has to affect everyone, not only women. But I think women, it's more evident because, we go through this cycle and we know when the mind is affecting the body, and that's when your period cycle will change. So this is another part. This is part 2. What I would say is part 3 is there's lack of coordination between family members as well, because the responsibilities are just shifting. So that was another point, although this may not be applicable to everyone. Sleep cycle and food that is affecting everyone. But I think lack of responsibility, everything has changed, right? Like the system has changed. So of course, this is affecting a lot of women. But on the contrary, women who don't have kids are having a better time right now because they're sleeping well. They're actually using this time extra to rest well, to take care of themselves, to focus on themselves. So I think it depends on which category we fall in and what the family structure is like.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of work-related stress when it comes to managing home and managing work together. Even for people who don't have kids or who are not married, even for women like that, I think there's a lot of stress right now. Just the whole environment is very stressful right now, especially in India. Even though places have started opening up and delivering, a lot of people are not ordering food from outside.
That's
And
true.
we don't inherently have a culture where women take care of themselves. We think of
That's
us
true.
last.
That is a cultural thing. I think that's the same thing I've seen in Arabs as well. I've seen it in the Indian culture also, and the guilt factor is built in women the first. So if something goes wrong, it's the self-blame which happens, which eats up most of the time. Though it might not even be their fault, it's very easy to shift responsibility in other cases. But when this happens, it's impossible. Like any household related things go wrong, the responsibility is easily shifted. So there's no doubt that there is stress building up. I'm sure there was stress building up before also, but what's happening is there's no place to let go. You're just not, there's no place to throw it out, or like how much of phone conversations can help you. Maybe sometimes when you get frustrated, you just go out for a walk or listen to music. Maybe that could be stress relieving, but none of that is happening right now. So there has to be some mechanism where you fight that stress with yourself. And of course, because this is such a drastic change which has happened almost like overnight, so we were not well equipped with it, as simple as that. So yeah, stress is something everyone's facing right now. Even I'm in a country which is not locked down, yet women don't get to go out, just meeting their friends. That itself is frustrating. Leave India, where everyone's like locked to their house, like literally to their house. We are allowed to go out. Yet people are so frustrated because simple reasons, the blush challenge on the internet, if you've come across, where people are doing makeup. It's such a simple thing, right? But I know so many people, including my mom, who got really happy. Like after ages, I've put on makeup or I've gotten ready and I felt like I did something for myself. So that's why the brush challenge became a hit. Why do you think none of the men are doing it? Because they don't care. I think the brush challenge was a step for women to like, okay, or the sari challenge for that matter. Just, okay, you're getting ready for something. So you're doing something for yourself for the first time,
That's
which
true.
they don't do
That's
when they're in their house. Women always have to step
true.
out of their house to do something for themselves. So I
So,
think that's where the boundary.
Riya, then how does yoga really help you then? Because everywhere we go, people say if you're stressed, you should meditate, you should do yoga. But how does yoga actually help you relieve stress?
I'll tell you what actually yoga is about. It's just about coordinating your mind and your breath. Now, why you get frustrated is because your mind cannot send the proper signals to the body. There's a mismatch between the two. Right?
Okay.
Now, there's a very simple example, like my teacher gave me, and I think I stick on to this. I think I use this example everywhere. So maybe it might be a repetition, but I'm just going to go ahead and tell all the viewers. So the breath is like gold here. So it's almost like if you're flying a kite, and if the kite is the mind, and so the person who's down is the body. So the only one string which is connecting the mind and body is the breath. And that's the importance of breath in yoga. It connects your mind and your body, and it's so thin that you can't even see it. But is the string important? Yes, it is. You can't do without the string, right? So it's almost like people are, because you can't see it, because the string is almost invisible, you're just seeing the top part of the kite. People often forget how pranayam and how the breath in yoga is so neglected. I would just say it's neglected, because so many of the trainers that you see abroad, so many of the yoga channels that you see, rarely do you see people talking about the breath, because also it is a subtler aspect. Number two, it's very difficult for people to see. So suppose if I can do a yoga asana, it's tangible. I can see it. I can see you doing it. So I know you are a yoga teacher. But how do I tell that I'm a pranayam teacher? Can I see it in your face? No, I can't. So what we can't see, it's very difficult for us to perceive or believe it. So when we are working with pranayam, it is very essential. It's more essential than the asanas, but it does how this will help in stress is the mind and the body get connected. Now, what happens is all our hormones are related to the breath. Okay, so when you want to do, pregnant women are hence recommended yoga and pranayama a lot. They're not recommended gymming, because all the hormones that are changing, and they will change. Otherwise, how will the birth take place? It really calms it down. So every morning, what you do is, it's like a reset button that you have. Yoga is like a reset button that you have, that yesterday's frustrations, you kind of flush it out, and then you begin again. Or maybe over time, you just make the foundation so strong that whatever comes, you can take and you can manage. So that's how it helps. So it's really just calming your body out. Number two, you're doing something for yourself. Women have a major problem with managing so many tasks. Your task, my task, his task, her task, their tasks. What happens is, this is one way that you take out time for yourself. So even if it's 5 minutes, it's kind of rewarding in your mind that it's okay. You know what? I got time for myself. Now I'm prepared to do anything for the others. So that's how the pranayam aspect helps. Yoga, of course, the physical aspect, because we're not going out too much. We're not letting go our physical energy. There's no exhaustion. Because we're not getting physically tired, we're getting only mentally tired. When you're not physically tired, your body doesn't want to sleep. It wants to keep moving around, because it wants to burn that energy, and then you want to sleep. But the mind is frustrated. It's already overworked. It can't think. So this, can you see the imbalance between the workout in the mind and the body? That's when the asana and the pranayam will hit you. It'll balance the two. It'll bring the mind's activity down. It'll bring the body's activity up, especially during lockdown, so that you feel the physical burnout and mentally you still feel relaxed. And so you can manage the situation for however long it lasts.
Wow. And I'm sure that it also helps you maintain your mental health, like when you're not frustrated,
Of
you're
course,
more
of course.
balanced.
It will help in your stress directly. You do it for a week, you do it for 15 minutes, 2 times a day. Just 15 minutes. If you have 10 minutes, 10 minutes is also fine. You do it 2 times a day, in the morning and the evening or whatever time you get, and you will see a drastic result, along with a couple of acupressure points and all of that. You will see a drastic result in anyone who's facing an imbalance or irregularity in your periods. Because it
Oh,
directly yes, so we have a pituitary gland, like if I were to draw a line inside and here, where these two lines will intersect is the pituitary gland. Okay, now
okay.
this is the master gland. It controls all the glands in the body.
Okay.
So all the hormone secretion is because of the gland here inside between our skull. Once that is regulated, it makes sure all the hormones are functioning correct. And once you have that, you have no irregularities in your body.
And some simple breath work can help you do that?
Perfectly. Anulom Vilom, for those who don't know, alternative nostril breathing, that is number one. If that's too complicated, because some people tend to do it wrong, the simplest way is just close your eyes and count. While inhaling, 1, 2, 3, and while exhaling, 3, 2, 1. So this is called the equal breathing. So what happens is, when you're frustrated, okay, have you noticed the breathing pattern? You breathe in heavily.
Yeah, your heart rate increases and you're just,
Yeah, you breathe in heavily, but you don't let go. So if I'm like, okay, I'm breathing in heavily, I'm not letting go. I'm breathing in heavily, I'm not letting go. And when you're sleeping, have you noticed that? You're just
you're more
settled.
calm.
Yes. So if your emotions are affecting your breath also changes your emotions. So this is if I'm angry, I'm frustrated, I'm going to really like clench my teeth and like breathe fast because I want to throw out anger at you. But if I'm calm and happy, I want to talk like lightly, and then I want to like take my time to breathe in and breathe out and do things like that. So if you feel angry, if you're feeling any emotion that you don't want to feel, any emotion, okay, it can be anxiety, it can be stress, it can be anger. If you can regulate your breath at that time, it's like holding the string, making the kite not go away from where it was and getting it back to where you want it. And just equal breathing. Just count in your mind, just close your eyes. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. When you do 1, 2, 3, you breathe in. When you say 3, 2, 1, breathe out. So mind brings all the toxic emotions come back, and then you feel normal. Then you're like, okay, now I can think.
Wow.
That's how it works.
That's really helpful. I'm going to try that.
Yes, it's very simple. I think everyone should know that. So if you want me to just point out a couple of pranayamas, I can do that. Very simply, just close your eyes. Equal breathing is what it's called. Just make sure your inhalations are equal to your exhalations. So if you're somebody who's already an athlete, I'm sure they'll be able to do it till 6 counts. If you're a yoga practitioner or into any physical exercise, you'll be able to do for 7, 8 counts. Make sure your inhalation is equal to your exhalation. So this is equal breathing. Just sit straight, back straight. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Just do this for 2, 3 minutes. You'll see everything like coming back together and just feeling calm in your mind. One other one is Anulom Vilom. Although that's a little complicated and there are a lot of varieties to it if you go online. The simple one is, if you just fold your 2 fingers, you have 2 options. You can either keep your fingers here or fold them. Now you're just breathing in alternatively, okay? So if I'm breathing in through my left, I want you to exhale through your right, inhaling through right, exhaling through left. So whatever you inhale from, I want you to exhale from the other, then inhale and then exhale. Do you want to try? I think you think our viewers would like if we give it a try.
Yeah, sure.
See them.
Like this?
Yes, like this. And now you're keeping both hands on the nostril. Okay? Yes.
Okay.
And I'm just going to instruct you, and you can just close your eyes and we'll go with that. I hope all our viewers are also going to catch up with our pranayam.
Please do, guys. Please don't let me do this alone.
All right.
Let's
So you're going to
yeah.
block one of your nostril. You're going to block your left, and let's breathe in from right. And breathe out from your left nostril.
Okay, so I just press this and release this one.
Yes. And then now breathe in from your left and out from your right. Breathe in right. And one last round. Breathe out from your left.
Okay, and how many times should you ideally do it?
This is not upon the timing, because if I'm just a beginner, I'll be doing it for 3 seconds, versus somebody who's a yoga practitioner might do it for 10 counts. So I think take the time, do it at least for 3 minutes, and then if you have more time, you can do it for 5. Then if you can continue to do it as long as you want. There's no harm in going for a long period. It's just that you need to see the breath going in and coming out, going in and coming out.
Oh, that's so cool. Shia,
Yes.
we know that you developed your own routine to maintain period health.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little about it? To all our viewers, we'll be putting up this routine on our page soon after this session, so you can all also have a look at it. Yeah, please, can you just tell us about the routine a bit?
Yeah, I feel so happy that I came across it and my teachers taught me this. Honestly, I feel so grateful, because I think as a society, it's acceptable to have period pains and cramps. And it's like, if you tell me, oh yeah, I get cramps, and my response is no, not let's do something about it, I'll be like, oh yeah, even I get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
So it's like you're not alone. Like, even I have the pain, and then like, we should just accept the pain. And I have cramps, and you also have cramps, but no, mine are worse. I'm going through more difficulty than you are. But that's actually not the case. We need to learn that it can be managed. The pain can be managed, and it can go down. Lower back pain, stomach pain is something that everyone gets, right?
Yeah.
And I feel really bad when people pop in pills for the same thing. But on the contrary, what you can actually do, yeah, I had roommates and they were taking at least one pill every time they got their cycle, and that actually made the cycle worse, nothing else.
It did? Oh
Yeah.
God. Okay.
Yeah, because next cycle you need 2 pills to have the same effect, and then next year you need 3 pills to do the same thing. And if they don't get the pills, they kind of lose their mind because they can't deal with the pain anymore. So this yoga routine is really, really simple. My acupressure teacher taught me that I was somebody who used to have a lot of scanty flow, as opposed to a lot of other people who have like plenty flow for like 5-6 days, or it goes beyond 10 days also. So there's a simple acupressure point which you guys can post about. I'll also be teaching it right now, where you can. Acupressure is something where you can really regulate your body and the organs by pressing it and healing it. So we are healing the pain. Along with that, when you're doing the physical asanas, what happens is you're really opening your chest and your stomach, taking in your breath in and out. And when that happens, you're really allowing the prana or the energy to flow in and out. If you remember, like during probably the last generation, like our moms and all of that, they would not work for 2-3 days, any sort of a physical work. But on the contrary, now we are working a lot. So our body kind of needs rest. So this routine I have developed, that if you have 15 minutes, you can do 15 minutes. If you have 20 minutes, you can do 20 minutes. All you need is you're taking out time for yourself to really open up your chest, your reproductive organ, and your stomach. When this happens, all the muscles open up, and the blood flow that's supposed to happen, that's supposed to clear out during this period, comes out, so that there's no cyst formation. Because we don't have, if we have irregular periods or something like that, we'll have a cyst formation, or that blood is supposed to be thrown out. And when that doesn't happen, there are going to be repercussions of that. So this is number 1, to give you relaxation. from cramps, from your back pain, and all of that. But if you're somebody who's already, you're already doing a lot of physical work, you cannot expect it to go down 100%, but you will see a difference that, from 100, it becomes 90 and then 80, and then it slightly comes down. And number one is relaxation. Number two is that breath flow that you do. Okay. That really relaxes the mind, which is working on, again, the pituitary gland and on the other glands that are needed to clear the cycle out. So it's working both on the mind and the body.
So will this also help regulate the cycle?
Yes, absolutely. So you will start, of course, it depends on how severe you have been going or how long you have been going through this problem. I do not recommend anybody to stop their medication. Please do not stop it. Please keep going to the gynec and getting your regular treatments done, but also try this on this side. See how your mind relaxes. See how gradually pain-free your periods become. Gradually pain-free. But you can, just because it becomes pain-free doesn't mean you go out for a run, okay? I know a lot of athletes who do that, but it depends on who you are and who you've been trained as a person in your formative years. There are PT Ushas who are running and, who don't even feel a muscle pull during the periods, but that's fine. If you're not an athlete, if you're like a working, regular desk job kind of a person, see, it will make a difference. Number one, a lot of people have lower back problems. My lower back problem went with that. And it's almost like after this routine, you almost feel like you've just woken up from sleep. It's not like a physical workout, which is why I love it. And you can just do a pillow. You can just use a pillow and just lie down on it. It's that simple. So if you have 5 minutes, take out 5 minutes. But I recommend at least 15 minutes you deserve for yourself. Is all I can say.
So this is something that you recommend we do every day or only during periods?
This is very good because in periods, you're not supposed to do normal exercises. So this is something that you can do in your normal, in your period days. And if 4-5 days before people start cramping up before that, this is also good for that. If you want to do it regularly, it can also be done regularly. Normal exercises, try to avoid during your period cycle. Your body is not meant for that strain. Okay, especially anything interfering with your stomach is not good at that point of time. This routine can be done every day. If you're somebody who's going through severe problems or chronic problems, try doing this every day. It will give you much better result than somebody who's not facing too many problems.
Okay, great. You mentioned something about the acupressure point, I think.
Yes, I'm so excited to teach this acupressure point because this has been asked by so many women. Sorry. In my class, I can't even begin to tell you. I'm sorry. There's something. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, I want everyone to really spread this acupressure point. It works like magic. You really need to understand what your body is like. Okay, it'll just take me 2 minutes to explain. So our body is formed like this in our hand. Okay, if you can just maintain this posture. First two fingers between middle two fingers go down, side fingers apart, and your head. Okay. Now this is our body. I'm just going to go out of the frame to focus on my hands.
Okay.
Now imagine you are standing. Okay, imagine you are standing. Now as a standing person, these two are your legs.
Okay.
Okay. These two are your hands.
Okay.
And this is your head. Okay. So this is how the body is represented on the hand, on our hands. This is the leg. This is the hand. This is your head. So any problem that you're having, suppose in your left hand, you will be finding an acupressure point here on this hand. If you're finding some problem in your head and you want an acupressure point for that, you'll be searching for that point here.
Okay.
Yeah. So every time you feel confused, this is just to show you that, if you're feeling confused that, you're outside and you're like, you don't have access to this video. How do you remember it? So I always explain, imagine you are standing and your hand is also standing And that's how you will spot the acupressure point.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna remember that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, our reproductive organ lies between our legs, right? So,
Yes.
these are our legs, and we're finding
Mm-hmm.
pressure point here.
Oh, okay.
So that's the logic. If you really understand it with logic, trust me, you'll never forget it. You'll just never forget it. And it's going to be so easy for you to pass on this message to other friends who have a problem, probably. Now, very simply, imagine you're standing, okay? So your period flow is supposed to go down, right? We're going down, right? Now, suppose a person like me, I get scanty period flow. Okay. So, what I want is more flow. Logic? Correct? So, I'm going to take this point and I'm going to press it and pull it down. Because I want more flow,
Okay.
right? But if
Okay.
it's someone like my mom who has a lot of like flow, yeah. So you press that point and you take it upward.
Oh.
So it's really simple. It's the logic is if you're facing like scanty flow, press this, pull it down. If you're facing more flow, press it, pull it up. Okay. But now I want to tell you 2-3 points regarding this. Okay. Number one, you don't decide whether it's scanty or it's more flow. Let your gynae decide that for you. Because for some people, 6 is very normal. For people like me, it's too much. Please, you don't decide. Every body is different. And this can be done on both hands, your right and your left. I'll be explaining that just in a minute for the time duration and everything. Now, I'll tell you something. Number one, please do not interfere with your period cycle, as in, people, especially people in whose religion it's forbidden to go during periods to religious places. Please don't say that, I want my periods early or I don't want my periods now. So I'll like fiddle around with this. I'll do it up and down. No, it does not work like that. This is not a medicine that you can skip period. It's an acupressure point. Please, I'm not serious. I get these stupid doubts. So I want to really clarify it. It's not like, अरे मुझे आज नहीं 2 दिन बाद होगा तो चलेगा. So I'll push my period, this thing up and it'll go up. Please don't do that. Don't mess around with your cycle. Let it come. Okay. This is number 2, how you're pressing it. Okay. So really use your thumb and your middle finger. Although I shouldn't point it. Really use these 2 fingers to put good pressure here. It should slightly hurt. Okay. Acupressure is best done by somebody else on you, because you are not going to be able to give that strong push to yourself. Okay. I wish I could like press this physically for everyone, but unfortunately you'll just have to go with a hard push. If you're somebody, I'm sorry, if you're somebody who's going through menopause, okay, you don't know if it's a scanty flow or it's a normal flow or it's a too much flow or it's a too less flow, you can just continue to press it normally. Just press it normally. It's fine. You're just taking care of the health of that area, the reproductive organ. It'll do no harm to you. Okay, it'll be do no harm to you. अगर आपको ये confusion है कि ज़्यादा नहीं है क्या है ये वो, आप सिर्फ just press this. You can press this for 2 minutes a day also, 1 minute a day also. You can press this in the evening also, after food, before food. That is completely up to you. Okay? But I would recommend at least take out some time mentally. Take a time out. Just keep pressing this. If you have a doubt, until you do not visit your gynaec to determine it's too much or too less flow, press it. No problem. Cramps, press this. No problem. During periods, press this. During periods, don't fiddle with up and down. Let it be. You fiddle with next cycle. Okay? Leave that cycle alone for whatever. During periods, don't fiddle with anything. Let your body just
only press it then during periods. If you have cramps and you press it, it helps.
Yes, the cramps. It really helps relieving the cramps, and it helps with if your flow is smooth, it'll not cause you pain. It's only that, you know, there are the flow is not smooth. That's when your cramps happen. So this is one of my favorite acupressure points. I think everyone should know this. And even on my YouTube channel, like a lot of people have just commented on this video saying that, oh, this relieved me, you know, at 3 a.m. in the night. And I feel so good. I was like, yes, one more person, you know, we could just help out. It's such a simple point. I think this should be taught in schools. Rather than taking
That's so
manuals.
true. I think we're gonna do a post exclusively for this point later, where we just tell people to just practice.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Just press it and you'll see how and you know what, even if nothing happens, it's taking care of a lot of hormonal things. So you might not see some physical result, or you might not see the results that you want maybe, but it's taking care of a lot of hormones. So please don't ignore it. I know it's very difficult to believe something like this because our educational system has not taught or made us believe in things like acupressure and yoga. But
Yeah.
once I started it, and I literally 2 days in my class, when I was hesitant to tell my teacher, I thought she'll throw me outside the class if I tell her I have periods. And I was like, no, because then I want to do yoga. And then one thing I couldn't do, and she's like, do you have periods? I was like, yeah. She's like, no, you're supposed to rest. Go rest. And when I did those routines, I felt like I just woke up. And I have never in my life, till 23 years, I didn't feel that life could be easy with periods. So to all women out there, you
That
can
gives us a
really,
lot of hope.
yeah. We don't need
Try to
pills.
be better.
We don't need pills. I don't want anyone going on pills for period pain. I know if there are complications, we can do only little things about it. But I think somebody asked about cyst also. So this, you know, will just help generally for the health of your reproductive organ. So please press it anyhow. There could be a lot of reasons for cyst formation, and I'm not a doctor. I want to tell you that I'm not a doctor, so I cannot comment about that aspect. Giving you surety that, you know, आपका cyst chala jayega. Give this a shot. It's harmless. It's free. It's just do it. I hope that helps though.
So even for people who do not have any, do not experience bad cramps, you should still do it because it's gonna help you maintain a good health.
Hormones. Yeah, and your hormones stay in balance. Like for some people, this what do you say? The pain is not too much, but the mood swings are a lot.
Yeah.
So that can itself drive people crazy. So I would say, just do this. And you know, you might not see a effect right now, but you'll see an effect during your menopause. Sorry. So things will just stay balanced. So there's no harm, and it hardly takes 1 minute. Even if you're traveling, you know, you can just press it, and better ask a male to press it because they really press it well. And it's like the force you need. Yes, one point I forgot to mention. If this point hurts, if this point is hurting, means the healing is happening.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's don't say that it's hurting, so you don't need to do it. Go maybe a little lighter, but it's a sign that your body needs this point to be pressed.
Wow, that's so cool. That's so informative. I'm sure everybody watching is gonna tag their friends and tell them about this because I am gonna do that. I'm gonna tell everyone I know about this point now.
Thank
So,
you.
before we end the session, I just want to ask you something very important. You know, the whole we see all these yoga teachers and yoga trainers on Instagram, and they are doing these amazing postures and asanas. And you know, personally, I feel a lot of complex. I cannot do that. So, for someone who wants to start, for a beginner, what would you recommend? How do we start? From where do we start?
So, see, these poses are very intimidating, even for not only for a student like you, but even for a teacher like me. Okay, so you have to understand that this journey has to start somewhere, and those people are way ahead in their game, not because that they're good practitioners, but because also of the Western lifestyle. They're used to doing things themselves. They're used to just walking. They're used to a lot of other basic things which are which we don't do. We don't cycle. Like my sister-in-law's, my sister's father-in-law, he's a German, and the 60-year-olds are cycling uphill. And if you ask me to cycle uphill, I'm going to be like panting. But those people are just the kind of food they eat, the kind of lifestyle they have, everything is very different. So for a beginner, I would recommend there are a lot of beginners yoga classes that are there on YouTube. Go on that and really get a teacher. It's very easy to get misled by some Instagram posts when you're starting out, because you don't know where the starting point is. And if you see, most of these Westerners also have put like, before and after 2017 mein ye tha, 2020 mein ye tha. So you also please keep in mind that journey, that it did take time. Instead of getting intimidated, you should know that it will take time for you, number one. Number two, get a teacher to guide you. It should not be me or you or anybody in this world. Just get a teacher maybe in your area and really practice for at least 2 to 3 months. I would recommend physically with that teacher. YouTube is so many times even I used to think that my posture is correct because YouTube is saying I'm doing what YouTube is saying. But actually that's not correct, because maybe your spine is not straight, maybe your head is not up, maybe your head should be here. So number two is get physically trained before you seek your free online classes. That would be my second advice. So your teacher will tell you what you need, because we have 3 types of prakritis. We have Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. So what is it that you need in your journey? It's very different from what I need in my journey. It's not about weight loss and all. That's all secondary. But do you need more of pranayam, or do you need more of asana, or do you need more of meditation, or do you need more of chanting? Only a guru and a teacher can decide that for you. Find a teacher. If you don't, in times of lockdown, find somebody online, get them face to face like this, and then say, no, this is what I'm going through. This is what my aim is. And then only that instructor can tell you what you want, what you need, and how your journey will look like in the coming months. So it's very easy to get misled by social media. I know it has its own perks, like, how we are doing these online things. We've never met. So many people who come live have never met us, have never seen us, but we're all connected. It has its own perks, but it can really draw you back inside also to a place where you'll never you'll just look at it, you'll feel happy, and you'll not take any action about it. So physical
she looks great doing that. I cannot. My body is not gonna bend like that. Let's not try it. That's how I go about. Okay, but thank you so much, Riya. It was a wonderful session. We had so much to learn today. I'm sure all our viewers enjoyed it as well. Thank you so much.
For women for so long. It's been almost 2 years since I learned this acupressure point, and whoever I meet in my classes, I tell my ladies, "Aap ye karo." And I have Pakis in my class, I have Bangladeshis in my class, Russians coming to my class, and they're like, "Really? At this point?" It's so hard to believe. But then their daughters do it, and their mom-in-laws do it. And I was like, see, it's working, right? It's working, right? So physically, it's very, for me to get in touch with people is very difficult because I have like my own limitations. But through channels and platforms like yours, we reach out to more people and more information is spread out. So thank you guys for taking this initiative. And for everyone who's come live, thank you for learning this. Please spread the message to as many people as you can.
So we will make it our cause to do this now.
Yes. Promote it. I'm sure so many people will be so happy to know this free technique.
Absolutely be happy. Thank you so much, Riya. Thank you for joining us. Bye-bye.
Thank you for this. Bye-bye.
Okay, so that was Riya Bhansali. We'll tag her in the post, and she's also tagged in our previous stories, so you can go to her Instagram if you have any doubts. If you have any questions that you want to ask her, you can ask her directly. She's a wonderful teacher. I hope that you enjoyed this session as much as I did. Thank you for joining us. See you next time. Bye-bye.